Okay. So, hey, how you doing? My name is Robert Brown, and the name of my speech is Pay Yourself, Keys to Financial Freedom and Why You Should Go For It. And when I say that, I'm trying to persuade you to consider the entrepreneurial route. I want to challenge your mind to think outside the box and get out of thinking that the job is always the answer. So, first, let's take a survey. Who in here works a 9 to 5 every day? You get up, you get dressed, and you go to work. Some type of job, whether it's a day shift, night shift, mid shift. And how do you feel after that shift? Like, do you feel that you're fulfilling your purpose? Do you have that fulfillment that you are doing the right thing? Do you want to go back to work after this shift is over? If you don't have that feeling, I'm talking to you. Do you have the feeling of asking yourself why, or is there more? And my answer to you today is there is more. Entrepreneurship. Why are you scared? My favorite basketball player, Kobe Bryant, said, if you think you're going to fail, more than likely you are going to fail. So, once again, why are you scared? Do you have a talent? Are you good at dancing? Are you creative? Or can you use your hands well? Do you have a service you can offer? Are you good with numbers? Are you good at construction? Why are we not using those tools, those things that God has given us as vessels to create a revenue? Because I honestly feel like your job is a trap. And when I say trap, I'm not saying like, when I say trap, what I mean is your job creates an artificial sense of stability, and it allows you to be comfortable because you go to work every day. You gotta have somebody tell you how much you're gonna make, how many hours, right? Compared to if you're an entrepreneur, you have control of all that. So it's not, when I think of a job, I don't necessarily think opportunity. I think confinement. I don't think stability, because it traps you there. It makes you think that this is what you have to do in order to provide. Now, quick fun fact. After reading some legislative articles, I did discover that minimum wage does not pay or allow a person to live comfortably anywhere in the United States. That means if you're working for the minimum wage in your particular state, it does not cover the bases that you need to pay your bills and provide for your family. Now, also in my readings in the Gaston Gazette a few days ago, I saw that Chick-fil-A, a few of Chick-fil-A, not all, but some are raising the minimum wage to $17 an hour, and they're calling it the living wage. Now, when you think living wage, you're thinking, okay, that's going to allow me to live comfortably. But now I pose this question. Why are we waiting for somebody else to dictate how much we make? Why are we continuing to put our financial ceiling in somebody else's hands? Now, next question. Why are you going to work for someone else when they didn't? The job that you're interviewing for 9 times out of 10, they don't work for anybody. You're interviewing for them, but why not have somebody interview for you? Why go to work for somebody before you even think about working for yourself? Now, too many times, entrepreneurship has that negative connotation that it's not stable. You don't have that certainty of a paycheck from week to week that your job provides. But let's focus on the pros. Flexibility. The ability to make your own schedule and to allow yourself to go to your son or your daughter's recital. You don't want to tell your child that you can't make it because you have to go to work, or you have to go ask your boss to get PTO, or you have to call out of work because of the fact that you want to make your child's engagements. The excitement of it, the day-to-day routine, knowing that no day is the same, knowing that when you wake up, the amount of money you make or the growth you see, who you talk to, all depends on you. That's an exciting process. Also, probably the biggest thing that people worry about, your salary. Your salary has no ceiling being an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, I love it because of the fact that I know that when I make money, it's solely based on my efforts. Your efforts determine how much you make. compared to you going to your job, you know that no matter how hard you work or how little you work, you're going to make that exact same amount for those amount of hours, and you're going to go home with the exact same amount every week, compared to it being based on your efforts. And you trust me, you're going to work harder for yourself than you are for somebody else. Hey, how you doing, Sean? Next, enjoyable. The process is going to be enjoyable, and I say this because every day is not going to be good. Some days are bad, some days are good. Some days your sales are going to be through the roof, and then other days you're going to be like, do I really want to do this? But the fact that it's yours makes you want to keep going because it's a process, and you're doing something you love to do. When you find your niche and you turn that into a revenue stream, it's not considered work because you're going to constantly want to grow and get better at it. Now, I'm not just sitting up here talking to you today about something that I wouldn't do myself. I actually took the leap. I'm leading by example. Now, the day I took the leap was the day I stopped asking myself why and started asking myself how. Too many times I would come home from work and I would be like, why? Why am I doing this? Why do I gotta go back to work tomorrow? But instead I asked myself, how can I create a way not to go back to work tomorrow? How can I work for me? So what I did was I found my purpose. I love fashion, that's my niche. I'm very into clothes and how people put their ensembles together and walk on a daily basis, along with my interest in finance. I'm an accounting major. So what I did, I created Loose Suede Clothing, and pretty much I use fashion to dress the community with financial knowledge. So Loose Suede Clothing, to give you a little summary, is everybody, I give you knowledge through clothes that you probably wouldn't get on your own. So hypothetically speaking, if somebody bought something off my site, I would send them financial tips and strategies monthly because now I have your email. So that one time that you purchase from me, I give you a lifetime wealth of information that you probably wouldn't go to books at Barnes & Noble or Books A Million to go get yourself. Now, I have good days. Some days, sales are really good and I'm just jumping for joy doing cartwheels in my room. Other days, it's not so good. But the fact that I know I'm working for me allows me to still wake up and keep going. Because those same 8 hours I might put into my business in a day, I could be doing that for minimum wage, which, like I said before, does not cover the cost of living anywhere, depending on the state you live in. So that daily fulfillment, I feel like I give myself promotions daily because I keep growing. Because of the fact that I can go out here and I network and I'm constantly engaging with different people, and the knowledge that I'm gaining allows me to grow. I feel like jobs make you comfortable because of the fact that it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to do that specific task. As an entrepreneur, you have to get out, you have to network, and you go and you got to be in uncomfortable positions, and that's how you grow. You grow from being uncomfortable. So now, my story wasn't good enough for you. Let's go to some familiar faces. First one, Daymond John. Now, you might know him from the hit show Shark Tank. That's how a lot of people know him nowadays. But he started off a lot like me and you. Actually, me and his stories are kind of parallel. He was actually working as a server in Red Lobster, sewing garments and hats in his mom's basement. But he actually had a friend called LL Cool J. So it's so funny because I was watching his interviews and he would mention how people thought he had this really big corporation when really all he had was 5 shirts and 5 hats. But he was constantly putting them on people in their videos, but he would take them back. So the more people thought that he was big, they started to invest in him. And from there, he was able to fill orders. And then he turned into a $50 million company. Now, how much is he worth today? Off of his leap, he's worth $300 million according to Forbes list. Now, let's move on. Sean P. Diddy Combs, right? He started Bad Boy, which is a record label known for working with artists such as Faith Evans, Biggie Smalls, things of that nature. But you also probably seen him on the show called The Four, which gives other artists opportunities to live out their dream. Now, he started like us as well. He actually started out handing out flyers and hanging up posters for somebody else that had their own label. So, if he can take that leap, why can't we? Because one day he probably just turned his why into a how. Now, according to Forbes, Diddy's worth $884 million. That's off of his leap. So you don't just go from hanging up posters to Forbes list. You got to put in some type of work, and you have to believe in yourself. Last but not least, Kylie Jenner. Now, I put her up here. Now, she's not your typical entrepreneur. She had money before, but I put up there because she could have kept, you know, taking her family's money, living off of that name, living off the TV show, that reality TV hype. But she took a chance. She started her own cosmetic line. And now she's on set to be one of the youngest billionaires ever. She's currently worth $900 million off of cosmetics. Now, these three people up here, they all have one thing in common. They believed in themselves and they wanted to take the leap. Now, I encourage you to do the same. But before I go, I want to drop one more fact on you. I was reading an article on INC.com about entrepreneurs and how many of them are on the Forbes list, right? Now, the top 20 richest people in the world, 10 of them are entrepreneurs, and start off just like me and you. So if 10 of the top 20 richest people in the world are entrepreneurs, they start off like me and you, why can't we do it? Why should we go work for somebody else when they didn't? And you see how it came out for them. Now, I'm not telling you go out, quit your job today, and I'm going to be an entrepreneur. But think about it. Make a plan and make it into action. Take control of your life, your journey, your financial freedom. Pay yourself. Thank you.
Yeah.